Okay.
development as it creates employment opportunities and contributes to the growth of various industry. Away from Liberia, Jose Mourinho wants to manage Manchester United for a second time. Jose Mourinho, who reportedly love to manage Manchester United for a second time, and has told Confidence he will willingly go to the Old Trafford to do so. The Portuguese 61 was in charge of Manchester United between the summer of 2016 and December 2018, winning the EFL Cup and the Europa League is a first season before an acrimonious departure. Mourinho, who is a friend of United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, according to the Manchester Evening News, will gladly accept the opportunity to return. That's his sports.
Stevie Talu with the latest in the world of sports, and it's a regular feature here on Blaze News Point at Blaze 90.7 FM. Well, folks, that's all the time we have to be with you on today's edition of Blaze News Point. Just before to deliver a few headlines of stories we followed this evening, President Buhari reaffirms his government's commitment to heads of states attending the U.S.-Africa Business Summit in Dallas, Texas, the fight against corruption and unbending stand on the rule of law. LACC says over 400 appointed officials have not declared their access, gives 2 months ultimatum to those officials to declare their access as soon as possible. Affected residents of ArcelorMittal concession areas in Nimba County called for the cancellation of the MDA between the company and the government of Liberia. And away from home, rescuers in South Africa are racing against time to find 42 people who went missing after a 5-story apartment building collapsed on Monday. I'd like to say many thanks for your listening role. Deborah Mills was here with the news bulletin. Stephen Tyler was here with the spokes. My name is Alexander Yanakina Ankert. Have a wonderful Tuesday evening.
All right. Thank you very much. That's the news from Bliss Radio 90.7 in Monrovia, Liberia. And I'm here, Gibson Jeru. I'm about to begin my discussion. And so we want to say welcome to our broadcast. We've been away for a little bit, but we are here now. I'll be expecting the officials of the Grand Jury Association will be joining me at 4 p.m. Central Time, which will be 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So we want you to stay tuned as we discuss. Today they are coming to discuss the success of the achievement of Samuel Doe while he was president. And if you remember today, if you have not forgotten, today is Samuel Doe's birthday, and the Grand Jury Association is commemorating this day with a special interview from us to discuss the things that Grand Jury has done, the things that Samuel Doe has done for Liberia, and the memory that he leaves for family and friends. It is important that we host them, and they will be coming very soon. I will have here with me the president of the Grand Jury Association, Madam Edith Poir, will be here. We'll also have the chief of staff to the national president, Mr. Jefferson, or Pastor Jefferson, um, will be here as well. And we'll have the chaplain of the organization, Madam Beatrice Swen, will also be here. I'm trying to get them to come into the chat room when they are ready to come by 4 p.m. Central Time. We will bring them on. But for now, we want to say welcome to this broadcast. I'm very, very happy to be here. And let me play you some songs, and I will be right back with you um, on the broadcast. And don't go away, because we got very great things to discuss today. You will love it because we got so much to talk about. Today we have a lot to talk about, especially coming from news from Liberia and other parts of the world, but we are going to restrict ourselves to national politics and other humanitarian stories that will be coming from Liberia. And so we want you to stay tuned. Let me play you this song and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. My man Anthony Phillips will be in studio and he will be there to do my activities. He will take care of everything for me there. And so I want to say thank you, Anthony, for being there. Let's
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
Download your favorite song at originalhits.com.
Pepe can change go. Le pape said no one to do it do. Clipper can rock you. Lepe when you coming true. You can see. All the good God do for me, oh. Papa, your blessing to plant me and I get cut out to oh. You opened door, you made a way. Made my enemy call it fair. They wanna wallow down me. I listen people not saying. Me only used to tell I mean now they telling me okay. Congratulations. They opening corridor for me to pass. So me said the full say congratulations. See how you turn it around for good from the way to farewell. Congratulations. The grace I carried and on your mate, the chit and do well. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let all my kids they wanting me for. All of my Kenya give it to God. They think you do it follow my mom. Les papi la zoba. Les pola don kutuku. Si les tina do. Jelle to say we not John su. Me I got pepe. Champutuku. You turn it around for me. When all of them were looking down on me. Clipper you still a show. Your own part is slow but sure. Let me hear today, tell me answer. Used to put your level, tell me what's that. Look better than blind to your dream. Papa, I do as you say. Hey, you can see. All the good God I do for me, oh. Papa, your blessing to plant me and I get cut up to do, oh. You open door, you made a way. Made my enemy call it fair. They wanna wallow down me. I listen people not saying. Me only used to tell I mean now they telling me okay. Congratulations. They opening corridor for me to pass. So me said the full say congratulations. See how you turn it around for good from the way to farewell. Congratulations. The grace I carried and on your mate, the chit and do well. Congratulations.
Download your favorite song at originalhits.com.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Anyway, anyhow, you know, say you go feel me. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Yeah. Anyway, anyhow, you know, say you go feel me.
Awilo lukumba, eguchika tokawa, wabadni iwaba, a living like no other. Yawanya na kwachu, nyapido bawagibi. I don't need talk and you go no feeling good parana. Just don't need
Yes.
Organization, chicken for money pressure, street orientation. Organization, for money pressure.
Yeah, that's it. When you're ready, come on. Yeah. No, the one, just you want, just come on. I saw you.
Oh my nigga, sharp proper. Oh my nigga, sharp proper. Cover face like badger. Get feel like but we know they cup. TikTok boss them tap. Pass all the shit, rababa. Oh my ejo, rababa. Feeling good, banana. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Anyway, anyhow, you know, say you go feel me. Music don't need permission to enter your spirit. Yeah. Anyway, anyhow, you know, say you go feel me.
Anthony, I sent the link in the chat room, but you coming on? Okay, the whole thing from you, Anthony. That's what it's meant to be. Anthony is, even though you play war, but he's not like that. You know who's saying not for water, you know. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back.
What is outside? Mama, yes, let's go.
Now me with they clean on the house. Now me with they wash on the car. Now me with they cook no. Now me with they wash on the clothes. Now me with they walk for your shop. Now me with they hug no. I become a person for my happiness, so stay be my own. Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, passing my own. I become a person for my happiness, so still be my own. Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, passing my own. Because not God that they put on my plate, food on my plate, fit no to eat. Even as things no they go my way, even the days I don't get nothing at all. Now me wait they drive your bus, now me wait they drive your keke.
What a boy! What a boy, push your car!
Now me where they run around, now me they do the job.
I'll be singing like everybody reach out to my name.
Hey, oh brother.
I become a person Everybody get bro, no me say your own bro, pass me my own.
Yeah, that's my man Bon on Board. I like the guy's song. It's I like the kind of song that he sing. It's cool, and I like that kind of song. And I say I want to welcome those of you who are listening to us. And again, I like to apologize. I've been a little bit busy the few days. My man Anthony Phillips have been taking care of business for the whole weekend. The Graduate Association convention, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was unable to come here, and Anthony was running the show from Monrovia, and he did incredibly well for that too. And I want to say thanks to Anthony for those of you who are here and who participated. Those of you who are in Monrovia and are listening to us on the Bliss FM 90.7. That's great. We want to say thank you also for being there. We are grateful that we have a kind of loyal listeners and partners like you. We want to welcome you again to our broadcast today. We will be discussing with the Graduate Association on our second segment, which is 4 Central Time. That's about 15 minutes from now. We'll discuss with them, and we'll hear from them why they are trying to commemorate the birthday of former President Samuel Doe. They will be here. The national president of the Graduate Association, Madam Edith Poir, will be here. The national chaplain, Madam Beatrice Swain, will be here, and our chief of staff for the president, the office of the president, Pastor Jefferson Solo, will be here, and we'll talk about Grand Samuel Doe, his achievement, and the birthday today. As you know, the Graduate Association hosts its convention just about the time when Samuel Doe's birthday is around the corner, and this year, luckily for us, it fell right in proximity of the birthday. Today is the birthday. Samuel Doe is born today, even though he's dead now. But today is his natal day, and our Graduate Association wants to remember this day in a special way. Those of you who attended the convention, we want to say also thank you for that. The convention in North Dakota was great this time. In fact, North Dakota broke the record of Queen Contest this year, just as Arizona broke the record for attendance 2015, if I'm not mistaken. This is how Fargo, North Dakota broke the record for Queen Contest. Remember, the Queen Contest this year netted more than $30,000. I'm telling you, I mean it. I mean, Queen Contest alone, just the Queen Contest alone, netted more than $30,000. This is the first time Graduate has ever raised the kind of money. But I want to go back to something that we were discussing the other day, and we don't have a lot of time to discuss that. I'm waiting for Patrick. I mean, not Patrick. I'm waiting for Anthony to come on here, and I will be able to know if we are live in studio there. I want Anthony to connect me on that side if we are live. So let me see here. Let's go to our studio and see what we have in studio there. I believe Anthony is in studio, and he's putting stuff together so that we can be live in Monrovia. So let me see what he is doing there. I believe they are trying to change from generator 1 to generator 2. So as soon as they are done, he will be joining me. And so I want you to stay tuned, because here we are going to talk to Madam Edith Poir. We're going to also talk to Chief of Staff Jefferson Solo, and we're going to talk to National Chaplain Beatrice Swen. And we're going to be live in Monrovia. Remember, you know that Monrovia is almost like grandchildren. This is where all Granadians live. Most Granadians live in Monrovia, and so it's not going to be any. It's not going to be any difficulties to get in the ears of Granadians. All our lawmakers are in Granada. I just got a message from one of them and say they are waiting to listen to the interview. And so I am here, and I will be doing my best here to. So I hope that Anthony will join me really uh, soon, so we can discuss today. I am glad that we are here. We want to play one more song, and then we will welcome our guests. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will talk to you on the other side of the break. So keep tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is Jacino right here. Let's bring on Jacino. Jacino is one of the hottest musical artists these days, and so we bring it on, and he will sing on.
Nash, come give me love, give me your body. Butter my bread, sugar my tea, give me your cocoa. Ain't nobody touching you, when they try it, they blushing you. Everybody crushing you, but I'm wanting to marry you. I know go carry another, you know say I be complete, man, yeah. Now your matter, it there for my mind, inside, yeah. Mami water, baby give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl I love Look at my big baby, they want my so nice and her skin so clean. She call it my love like a sweet sister. Over and over, she can do my thing. Yeah. She's so in love with me. It's a blessing that I found a queen. And she doesn't care if I'm poor or rich. I give her my love to eternity. Oh no no no, girl I promise I will be there for you. Oh no no no, if you ever leave I go hunting for you, my queen. Kiss you first thing in the morning, for me, baby never treat you funny. Oh, carry another, you know say I be complete, man. Yeah. On your matter, it's for my mind inside. Yeah. Mami water, baby give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl I love your body, yeah. I know, carry another, you know say I be complete, man, yeah. On your matter, it's for my mind inside, yeah. Mami water, baby give me something nice, yeah. Carry a matter, girl I love your body, yeah.
All right, Jazino there, one of our hottest musical performer artist, and my man Anthony is here. You know, it took a little bit for us to get us on here, and first of all, I want to say thanks to Anthony. He been holding on while I was away since Friday at the Grand Judea Convention. I was too busy with it. On Saturday was no way for me at all. Sunday again I couldn't, and so Anthony has been holding on. But Anthony, there was something we will be having the Grand Jet Association leadership will be coming on here to discuss. Today, as you know, is Samuel Doe birthday, and they have
Yeah.
requested to come and talk about Samuel Doe birthday and his achievement today. And so we were glad. But the other day, I was listening to you, Josephus, and Amos, and I want to put you in the guest seat today. You were asking him a lot of questions about Joseph Boyka traveling with
Yeah.
26 officials. But I know you were asking the question when you find yourself in that position, you don't really talk much. But what is your opinion on that? I mean, I heard what Josephus said, I heard what Amos said, I heard what the caller said, but what is your own disposition on that?
Actually, I've gotten used to asking people questions, and
Right.
yeah, not to answer questions though, but actually, as it is, I think I see something like an act of deceiving the people of Liberia, because as a matter of fact, you are the president of this country. You have the right to travel with whosoever you want to travel with because
Right. Right.
it is a dedication anyway. So, but it was just fair enough to be sincere to the Liberian people because back then you preached the same thing. You said that the president back then was traveling with too many people, and traveling with too many people cost a lot of expensive, and it is the taxpayers' money that is being used for all of the travels. Now that you tell us that you travel with 9 senior government officials, and when we check on the list, we saw Money Ara Captain name on the list. So are you trying to tell me that Money Ara Captain is not a government senior official, and
Yeah.
you
Go
have
ahead.
a lot of people on the list, which brought the number to 26. I think it was very sincere enough to be fair to the Liberian people and say, okay, I'm traveling, but this is the number of people I'm traveling with, and I'm carrying this number of people is because this is XYZ, this is this, and you'll be done with it. But instead being very, very deceitful to the people of Liberia, saying that you only travel with 9 senior government officials, whereby you have more than 25 persons you are traveling with. For me, I strongly believe that was not necessary. And if it is not the president's responsibility to announce to the people about that, I think those who are cope with the responsibility to pronounce to the public that the president is traveling with this number of people and they did not do so should be dealt with. Either someone should be suspended, someone should be dismissed for always making sure that the president's image is printed black.
I think you have a great point, and the point you have, which I agree with you, is nobody is stopping President Boakai to travel with anybody who want to travel. I know many times people in the opposition before then has criticized George Weah of traveling too many
A lot, a
with
lot.
traveling with too many people. So when they are traveling with 26, then they tell the public we are traveling with 26, and the public will be like, what? 26 people when you were just telling Joshua yesterday he's not supposed to travel with this number of people. That's one. The other thing is the honesty part of it. Just tell the people. Tell the people if you're traveling with 26 people, say I'm traveling with 26 people, and these 26 people have this responsibility. So when the president is traveling, I'm deducting that he will have security officers. But usually they don't put security officers on delegation. They don't, it's just an automatic delegation, part of the president entourage. You have your presidential security that go with the president. They are not part of the delegate. They don't name them. Okay, so they are not part of the delegate. They can't call their name. They can't say, "Oh, we're talking
Yeah,
about the security and everybody else." They're not
no.
part of the delegate. But when you're talking about Money Arrow Captain, like for example, and you did not mention his name as one of the 9 officials. So who will Money Arrow Captain be? Is it
Yeah,
like him
and
and
and you
third?
had you had two senior advisors to the president,
Right.
two senior advisors to the president, whose name was not also mentioned as senior government officials. So we don't know how they are terming those guys to be. I think they need to better explain to us on that seriously, because if you
We
look
will
at
discuss these things again at full length, maybe by tomorrow.
mm,
Today we don't have a lot of time. I had a little problem coming. I know you guys were changing power, so
yeah,
yeah, I realized that you guys were changing power, so we
just
don't
to
have.
have you informed, just to have you informed, before coming on air, I spoke with the Director General of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, Colonel Abraham Krumah. I told him I wanted to talk to him, but he said he was out of town, and where he is, the internet is not too strong. So
Right,
he rescheduled his appearance on our show for tomorrow, and he
right.
said he will be so glad to appear.
Yeah, so it's okay. That's great. So we can do the publicity, and then and wait and Abraham. We got a lot of questions to ask him. They did a drug bust the other day,
Yeah,
and and we want to know how they handling this. How are they proceeding? This is a very great source to get
We
information.
also we I also made contact with the police inspector general, but he did not give me a specific date. But he
Okay,
said within the course of the week, I should remind him to
right.
appear because today, scores of motorcyclists as well as tricyclists were kind of on the street trying to go against the no-go zone
Yes, they no go.
restriction.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, what he did not mention a specific date, but he said within the course of the week he can appear at any time, but I should just remind him. So, uh, there's a possibility that we could have him anytime within the week.
I think I don't know if my account is being restricted by Facebook. I don't know if it is because there's no way that.
We we're also experiencing a problem with the online radio. It's asking for login, and I think you will have to handle it from
Oh
your
no,
end.
I can send a login to you. You don't need.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send a login to you. And we are, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to all, we are waiting for. Let me send it to you directly, not in the chat room, so you will. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it will be. I'm glad that you talk to these people. These are very, very important individuals that can play, especially the motorcyclists. The motorcyclists, they are very, very, very important component of the economic strata. But the restriction for me, we sometimes when people do things, we tend to tell them, oh, it's wrong. But if you look at the way things are going in Monrovia, I think the restriction may be too harsh. I think it may be too harsh. I think there should be a way that they can work with the motorcyclists and give them at least another 3 months to see if they will listen to that. Maybe work with them, maybe conduct some. I don't know. I usually think that government does not always have to train other people; they can train themselves. Maybe do that, work with them, hold meeting with them, tell them some of the rules they need to follow, how they need to and see whether they will live by them. But cutting them off completely, would this not increase the number of motorcycles in the communities? Like you go to your community, you see there were maybe 50 before that used to be by the roadside away from customers, but because they can't travel anywhere now, they have to multiply. Maybe there were 100 people. So those are kind of problems that will come up. But when we talk to the police director, we'll hear more. Why did he institute this measure at this time? Are they not concerned about the livelihood of the motorcyclists? People are going to school. And Anthony, you said, I think you cycle me. I can ride that thing. I'm scared. I
Me,
can
I
ride.
can write it, but I can write it anyway. But what happened is that, like for now, while I'm on the show, as soon as the show come to an end, the next thing I'll be doing is to find a motorbike to take me to EAWA Junction. From
Right.
EAWA Junction, if I see a car, I'm going to ride a car. But if not, I'm going to definitely get on a bike to get to where I live in Cinco. So there are
So
many people, other
you are
Liberians,
a direct victim of that
victim.
decision.
Most definitely. And you see, me being one person, okay, someone may say, well, you are very vital to the society. Yes, I agree. There are other people who are more vital to the society than I am.
Yes.
But it also
Yes.
depends on riding motorbike to get to certain destinations at certain point in time. So it may be a good thing for the country, most especially the city, because they are only discussing Monrovia, not entire Liberia. But I think there should be something else done. They need to read between the lines and say, okay, gentlemen, we are not taking you completely from off the streets, but at certain point in time, we want you to, take this direction, and then at certain point in time, you can come back and do what, or better still, you can train them, and maybe because listen, these guys in Liberia to get something done is difficult, but once it is done and you've gotten people used to it, it will be very simple. Almost people always say around the world, we couldn't get used to things. Tell the motorcyclists this is how you should plow the street. Do not get on the link. Do not get on the link. And if people
Right.
are getting on the links, you told them not to get on. if they are being punished 1 or 2, 3 times, they will definitely get straight to, they will know that there is a law and they need to abide by. Honestly, but getting people getting the cyclists from off the streets, most especially where they call restricted area from EWA Junction to Central Monrovia, from a red light to Freeport, from Freeport to Central Monrovia, from Douala to Central Monrovia, I see it to be very, very difficult. And in fact, if you don't mind, if the motorcyclists are going on the street to protest against the no-go zone, you have some citizens joining them on a very serious note.
Yeah, that's exactly going to happen. Okay, my guests are about to come. I saw the president of the Grand Youth Association. Let's talk a little bit about Samuel Doe. Today is his birthday. Is there anything that we should be celebrating about Samuel Doe from your perspective? I know you were young, maybe even younger than what you are then when Samuel Doe was president. You probably may not know everything. You probably may not understand at the time, but at this point in time, what could be the reason for any celebration?
Let me just say who I was or who.
I'm going to bring my guests on a little bit. They are in the background. I'm looking at them. Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think I was born, or Samuel Doe was president for the second term, I think after the 1985 election.
Yes, in 1985.
And I was born in 1987. So he had been president ever since. He done his thing so much before even I was born. But for the little time that I read about him, okay, because I was born 1987 and he was killed 1990. What do you expect me to say?
Right.
That did I ever see Samuel Doe? No, I did not, unless some picture or the bad videos that we normally look at around here. But to be real, there is something I really, really, really admire and I love about him. If he was still alive, he was going to be a role model for a lot of Liberian people. One, he introduced what we call development to Liberia. People say Liberia was being developed, but not until Samuel Doe came into power. Because people say he was a native man, blah, blah, blah. They say a lot of things. But for the art of development, we did not see him doing it. But the stories we hear from our parents and other people, even from some foreigners, say he introduced development in Liberia. That's one. The next thing in Liberia that bring people together, that identical place is named after him, the Samuel Doe Sports Stadium. Some people say he was the one that ended it. He wasn't the one that started it. Yes, granted. The ministerial complex, it was, begun, Ellen Johnson said it began the development of that complex. But now, it was George Weah, former President George Weah, that dedicated it and named the place after her. So, government is continuative. So the next thing again I know about Samuel Doe is Zwredu City. I lived in Zwredu City for long, and I was told that even though there were some people who paid $1 for the streets in Zwredu to be paved with a quota in our Liberian setting, but he did a lot. And one of the things I also admire about him is two-zone town. When I went there, I saw an airstrip in two-zone town where people would not believe that there should be an airstrip, and I saw it there, and I got to know that if he was still alive, Liberia will go far in infrastructural development. I don't know about him.
Anthony Phillips, thank you. This Anthony Phillips is all the way from Lofa.
But I have a beautiful wife from Grand Chile County anyway.
But man, what you can't wait, let me talk about. Yeah, man. But man, you're behind the crown, get them. You can't even get on the chair who from Grand Chile. But
no, I call them, they are beautiful, but I tell them their beauty is with a purpose. They are beautiful, and their beauty is with a purpose. Seriously.
Their beauty with a purpose. For those of you who are listening to us on FM.
Gibson, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Then go out and come back in.
I can hear the gentleman speak, but I can't. Gibson.
Okay, Madam So, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so Madam,
I can hear both of you loud and clear.
Madam Paul, go back out and come back in.
I can't hear the other guy. I don't know why I'm not hearing Gibson.
Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
Maybe you receive a call. It happens when
Yeah.
there's an
Yes, sir.
interference. A call
Yeah,
interference.
we receive
Let
a
me go
call
back.
and the audio can drop. Yeah. Okay. So Brother Solo is here. I don't know why Brother Solo didn't want people to see a face or what, but that's okay. We can hear his audio. So today we're going to be discussing all about Samuel Doe. Today is his birthday. And for those of you who are in Liberia, in Monrovia, parts of Magibby, Bassot, or wherever you find yourself,
One
on our
County,
voice,
Salala.
One County, Salala, or
Bonnie.
hearing or listening to us through Blaze 90.7 FM. We are glad to be with you. We'll open a line later on for you to say, for you to have a say, as we usually do. But we have our guest today, the officials of the Grand Jury. You can hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Great. So, so
don't answer no call, or you will not hear him again.
Yeah. So we have today the national president of the Grand Jury Association in Americas, Madam Edith T. Paul. We also have with us, not on video, but on audio, Pastor Jefferson Solo. He is the chief of staff of the office of the president. And we have the national chaplain, Madam Beatrice Swin. I just received a note from Facebook that I play a song and it restricted my page, but I don't know how I'm still here. I don't know. I don't understand how I'm still here, but my page is restricted.
I'm sure that after the show, the entire video will be muted.
Oh my God! Please don't mute my video.
But don't
please.
worry, I'm doing an audio.
Oh yeah. And your video, your side of the video will be on.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So your side of the video, we can post that because I don't know why I received a message. I'm still on, but I say
you play Butter My Bread and
Butter My Bread, and I play Boma's music. So I think that's why. But thank God we are live on the radio, and Anthony is there recording our video and recording the audio, so we still have evidence of what we did do today. I just want to say welcome to you, Madam Poa, Madam Swen, and Brother Solo. How are you guys doing?
Great.
That's one good.
Yeah, well, sir.
So let's start with Brother Solo. Brother Solo, you are the chief of staff. Who do you have here?
That's a good question, Honorable. Is that a way to start out with the intro of my bosses on your show tonight? I'm here not by myself, but I first want to start out with a thank you, special thanks to you, Mr. Jeru, and your co-host, Mr. Phillips, for allowing us to present through your platform. And I also greet your audience and viewers around the world that are tuning in to listening to this presentation. And I'm pleased to welcome all of you to this digital platform or event that we are on tonight. It is also an honor, Mr. Jerry, to introduce to your viewers, your audience, our distinguished guests.
Somebody call him too. So once you take the call, then you are in trouble. So okay, let me go to the chaplain. I think the president wanted the chaplain to offer a word of prayer before we continue. And that is the modus operandi of the Grand Jury Association. They like to offer prayer for everything they do, which I believe is the right thing to do. So let me go to Madam Swen. You want to offer a little word of prayer before we continue? I'm not going to close my eye because I got to see you praying. I got to see your mouth. So
okay,
but I will meditate. Mm-hmm.
By way of introduction, I am Beatrice Henceforth Swen, the National Chaplain of the Grand Jury Association in the Americas. I'm honored to serve my people as a woman of God. I know in everything we do, when we reference God, He will direct our path. And this administration is doing just that. So if you are listening, please join us in prayer. Let us thank God for this beautiful day He has given us. Let us pray. If my people who I call by my name will humble themselves, and I, God, will heal their land. Father God, we want to thank you for this gathering. We want to thank you for the host, Mr. Jeru, and his co-host. We want to thank you for all of our listening audience. We want to thank you for the leadership of Grand GGAA Association headed by our lioness, Madam Edith Taino-Poor. We thank you, Lord, for the unity so far that we have amongst us. We thank you, dear Lord, for the peace that we have amongst us. We pray, dear God, that we will continue to be united and peace-loving people. For in your word say that we should love our brothers like we love ourselves. And we are peaceful people, Lord. We pray, Father God, that you will continue to give us that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding we need. And you continue to be the head steering this ship. For these and other blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. I hope, and if you are driving, you did not close your eye. Don't do that. So,
No, I didn't. I'm not driving. I parked. I'm in my car, though. Maybe you can see that, but I'm parked.
so okay, that's great. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So,
Mhm.
go back to Brother Jefferson. You were speaking before you went off. I want you to end your comment, and I got some questions to pose to the president.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Honorable Jerry. Again, I
Please don't
apologize.
take another call.
Can you hear me? Am I audible enough?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
are
are
live.
audible
I
now.
said, please don't take another call, please.
Sure. No, actually, what happens when they call in, even when I block it out, it kind of throw me off automatically. So, again, I'm not showing my face on camera tonight. I am in an environment that is not suitable, and to avoid all distractions, that's what I joined the show via audio call.
Great.
Again, I am pleased to. It is also an honor to introduce our distinguished guests tonight. Of course, they are my bosses. And first, we have for Excellency, the Honorable Chaplain of this union, Madam Beatrice H. Suen. She is here tonight on this show. We also have our able President, Her Excellency, Honorable Edith.
It looks like another call came, so we'll just jump in right away. We'll go to Madam Poa, but let me just set the basis here for those of you who are listening. We're going to ask you a question later on. What do you remember about Samuel Doe? I already asked Anthony Phillips this question. He's already told me what he remembered or what he's been told about Samuel Doe. But those of you who are out there, you are old enough to remember Samuel Doe, or you were old enough when Samuel Doe was president, or you heard about him. We are going to pose a question later. We want you to call and tell us, what do you remember? What good thing do you remember about Samuel Doe? We know that a lot of bad things that people say about people. We're not concerned about bad things tonight. This is his birthday, and we want you to tell us, what do you remember about Samuel Doe and what you think he could have done for Liberia that he didn't have the chance to do. Let me go to Madam President. Madam President, why are we? It's the Liberian legislature in 1987 passed a law that Samuel Doe's birthday should be celebrated nationally. Since he passed, his birthday has not been celebrated. Even though, like other presidents, Tottenham birthday has been celebrated in Liberia, but Samuel Doe birthday has not been celebrated, even though it's a law in Liberia. Why is Grand GGAA Association saying his birthday is not being celebrated? Why you want to make a special notation about it today?
Thank you, Mr. Jeru. The name Samuel Doe. I know everyone knows that
The rest of you can kindly mute your mic so we can get the president perfectly. Not you, Madam President, but the rest of the guests.
Yeah. So just mute yourself, and when you're ready, we'll bring you on. We'll allow you to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Madam President.
President Doe is not just an ordinary individual when it comes to presidents for different countries and stuff, including Liberia. This man is like he was the first indigenous president of Liberia. He came into office with less knowledge, and his passion to make a difference impacted the lives of our people. So, if you said since 1987 and people don't want to recognize him with the Grenadians, the least we can do is to be able to recognize President Samuel Doe. I'm sorry, I keep getting this stuff blocking me.
You are
So the
too, you are
least,
too, you are too famous. People gotta keep calling you. Go ahead.
sorry. So, of course, if people do not want to recognize him with the Grenadians, the least we can do is to recognize him, especially on his birthday. Dr. Samuel Doe, former president of the Republic of Liberia, the late president, is from our county, Grand Chita, and he is the people's president for the Republic of Liberia. He left behind a lot of things that will forever be remembered. And we are proud to say, as Grenadians, we will celebrate him and we'll celebrate his day. We are happy to have him for our county. Thank you.
And then we are happy to have him from our county. Apart from the fact that he's a Grangidian, you are also a Grangidian, but you are also a Liberian. Can we draw some line there that look connected about Samuel Doe?
Well, when it comes to Samuel Doe, in fact, he had no border when it, like providing the needed services for Liberians. It is not because, oh, I'm from Grand Chita, so I would provide the needed help for our people. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys like getting any kind
But
of
you are live.
interference.
Yeah,
You
we
are
are
live.
getting
You
you
are live.
perfect.
You are live.
Okay. Sorry, keep coming. So Doe was the president he was the president for everyone. He had a passion to help his people. So for us, Grenadians, it's not because we say he's from Grenada County, but he provided needed services for all the Liberians. So he's not just our president; he's the president for Liberia. So that one thing I want to make clear here. He impacted the lives of a lot of other non-Grenadians. For example, the President Weir and other people. I know right before I got on stage, I heard the moderator for your show. He talked about the SKD Sport Complex, and he said he was born 1987. So the information, the history that got was he did not start the complex, but he entered it. But from what we know, okay, give praise or honor to whomever deserve it. President Doe was the one who actually, from what we know, that started that sport complex. This is why it is named Samuel SKD Sport Complex. Okay, and that's one thing. You see people going there to play games and other things. So that one thing we do have in common when it comes to
Hmm.
development and other things in Liberia. We all share that. So I think we got a lot to connect when it comes to Doe.
Madam Swain, you want to come in? Brother Solo, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
You want to come in on that? Samuel Doe vis-a-vis Liberia, the bigger picture.
Well, yes, sir. Again, I think the president said it all, and some of us we are those generation because we, we were given birth to during his regime and when he came into power. So little we can actually talk about to say I'm a live witness, but with the information that we received from those that witnessed everything he did. And again, for the fact that he was a sitting president for our nation. I think the idea of celebrating his birthday should not be something that is okay, a tribal thing. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It's something that an entire nation must embrace and do why he served the nation. And this is a man, like the president said, he served without border. He was not particularly about his people. He was about serving the entire nation. So of course we are here tonight, and that's why we are here to to celebrate him. And we hope all other Liberians will join forces as well and say, this man served us. He was once our leader. He made impact on our nation. And let us celebrate him. Like people say, he gave a flower while he's still alive. Now he's gone. If even you cannot celebrate him while he's in his grave now, who are you going to celebrate? So Doe is not for the crown people, but for the Republic of Liberia. Are you back?
In 1991, early 1991, President Dr. Amos Sawyer appointed Jalaru Kalon as Minister of Youth and Sport, and it was the first of two times that a recommendation was made to the president, Sawyer at the time, interim president, that Samuel Doe name should be removed from the SKD complex, and Sawyer refused. Similar suggestion came during Ellen time, and Ellen also refused. Why are some people, Madam Swain, why are some people still thinking that Doe doesn't deserve any credit for some things like sports?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jeru. Sorry to my audience. I will get off camera for now. And sometimes you hear noise in the background because I'm parked near the street. Yeah, but Mr. Jeru, I don't know why anybody would think that Doe, President Samuel Doe, does not deserve recognition. Those people should be labeled as enemies of progress because this man was very progressive when it comes to the development of our country. There are so many things that he did that deserve recognition. Samuel Doe he ascended to the presidency from being Liberian people call it Roko. Yeah, where the people look down at you and think that you don't know anything. And he became president of that country. He was commander in chief though, but that's the same thing. And his ability to learn so quickly, is something that Liberian people should be proud of. We call him the first indigenous president of that country after so many years. And he came and he broke that chain. Now, Doe also helped Liberian people to cut down the cost of renter. I know most of us know that he built our own infrastructure. Your co-host talked about infrastructure development. Yeah, he was one president who believed in that. He did all of that because before the Liberian ministries were in people's private homes, were paying rent to private people. He came and he changed that whole dynamic. Also under Samuel Doe, the sports, what people call sports is something that unified people. He used that to unify his people. And everybody knows this story. He also didn't just build the sports complex, but it was under Samuel Doe that the players acquired land. He gave them land, each player, to motivate them. He also paid each player 5,000 United States dollars. All of that to motivate the players and keep them focused. So this man has done a lot for our country. Why shouldn't he be celebrated? So if somebody says that he doesn't deserve it, I would say that he deserved it so much so. Like any other person who did very well. And I'm proud that the Grangean Association can recognize that. And they say, if you don't say that I am, who will say that I? So if you don't recognize your own, who's going to do so? So knowing everything that we know that he did for us, I think he deserves to be celebrated. And that's why we are here today.
I will go to Anthony shortly, but let me ask this one question to Madam Poa and Brother Sologan. Any of you can come in too. The Grand Youth Association nowadays hosts its convention just about the same time of Doe's birthday. What is the significance?
It is our way of celebrating President Doe's birthday to honor him. As a member of Grand GGAA Association, in the past we used to have our program on Memorial Day weekend. And we, the Grenadians, met at a convention, and we decided, we said it needs to be very meaningful to us. It's not just because we want to be here and celebrate Memorial Day, but we want to make sure that we celebrate. We have a celebration that we actually take pride in, which is President Doe's birthday. And we voted. It was overwhelmingly accepted for us to be able to include his celebration during our convention. Because, and that's why we made that decision to do that, to celebrate him.
Okay, Anthony, you want to come in? You got some
I'm
questions?
so sorry.
Yeah, I have some questions, but before I can ask the question, I want to come in. I want to agree with the two ladies, on the issue of the celebration of former President Samuel Doe's birthday. Now, let's ask every Liberian, right? Be it young or old, what is the significance of celebrating JJ Roberts' birthday? What did JJ Robert, you know, do for Liberia that requires celebrating his birthday? That's one question. The next question has to do with William V.S. Tubman, who stayed in power for 27 years, according to history. What did he do for Liberia? Where did he take Liberia within the period of 27 years? And yet, then still, we still have the two president birthday being celebrated. Now, if you would not celebrate President Doe's birthday for infrastructure development, for making Liberia to be one of the best places in the world, at least for this president, elected president, being murdered on camera around the world, that alone worth, having a memorial day for him. To be real, sometimes in Liberia we do things like there are not many educated people in this country. I'm sorry to say that there are many educated people in this country, but they do things like people who think one way. You have President Samuel Doe, who was one of the presidents that, in fact, introduced indigenous people in offices in the country, what we call native people, bringing them to Monrovia, giving them jobs, making them to learn. In fact, he made people to have that courage to send their children to school. That's one. President Doe wife, Nancy Doe, got a lot of places in these places that we can mention. Call one name of JJ Roberts' wife project that you got. You have the Nancy Doe Market in Cinco. You have the Nancy Doe Stadium in Kakata. That alone is something worth remembering. You have former President Samuel Doe being the president. In fact, if it wasn't President Samuel Doe, where you think Liberia will converge to have a celebration of him having national county sport mean? Is it ATS? No, because ATS can only take 15,000 person. All right? There are a lot of things that happen that actually require remembering former President Samuel Doe. And in fact, the worst part of it is that Liberians sit and laugh, they drink liquor, and the lecture and forget about certain things. One is for the fact that people told this man, you have the right to leave this country, leave and go and enjoy yourself. The man said, no, I will not leave because my people are here and I want to stay and defend my people. He was murdered. For that alone, he should be remembered. Okay? So now let me come to the question aspect of what I want to say. The Grenadier Association in the Americas, all the time I spent in Grenadier, this is one of the institutions that name rank over and over in Grenadier County. And in fact, there are some rumors that have it that, if you are close to most of the association members in the States, it is possible when you win DV, you may make it. They will help you. They will help you to go to America and other things. Now, I have two questions. Since the death of the former president, Samuel Doe, what did the Grenadier Association in America do up to today to remember him, if you were funded by then? The next question has to do with Now that you people are coming up with this issue of the government allowing the day of President Samuel Doe to be celebrated as a national holiday, the government is not taking. I'm not even thinking that they have that in mind. What are you as an association having? Planning if this celebration is to be taken by the government, or if the government is not going to allow it. What will be your next step as an association, most especially of Grangida?
Okay.
Okay, I think that was a
Let's talk
great
about,
expose. That was a great expose, Madam President. You want to come in? Go ahead.
yes, let's talk about, you know, when it comes to like, you just made a significant point when you talk about Doe refused to leave Liberia. And one of the things that Grenadians did to honor him is the fact that Grenadians did not escape. Like I would say, we did not allow ourselves to be murdered after he died. Grenadians fought. Okay. And I'm sure wherever he is, or at that time, wherever he was during the heat of the war, the Grenadians really, really fought. God first, I gave God the glory. And Grenadians, after Doe died, for those that follow, the records, they thought that Grenadians were going to be wept, out. And Grenadians fought to make sure that, hey, Doe, you are gone, but we are here. We will fight. And when you talk about Grenadians outside of Liberia, we are many. Very organized group of people. We are very proud set of people when it comes to development, when it comes to making sure the legacy of Doe remains. We are actually following that line. For example, when it comes to, like you talk about, helping people, we try to help our people during the war. We send people back home. Some of them were arrested, and some of them really, really fought. We have veterans here that actually said, oh, you know what? We are not going to allow Grenadians to just die like that. For those who, people were chanting in the street, some of them, you know what? There will be no more Grangida County when we are done. Grangida will be placed in a circle where everyone will take that piece. But get this, though. I am not trying to preach to say that war in Liberia was senseless. Let me make it clear right now. There are other people from other counties, went through what we experienced. Like people, they were hunted too because of their tribes and other things. But we as Grenadians now, we are talking about Grenadians as a whole. We were hunted because of our ethnicity. It was not because of what we did wrong, which is sad indeed. And because of that, President and Doe himself knew that, because there were a lot of other Grenadians that did not even know Doe. Never went to his hometown, never sat with him to say, oh, this, in fact, when you show the picture of Doe, some people will say, oh, I don't even know him. But we were hunted because we shared the same tribe and county with him, which is very unfair. And this is why we as Grenadians, it's not just Doe, we are also making ourselves proud. We are also saying, look, it is not a good thing to go and witch hunt people because of that ethnicity. No one should be held accountable for an individual doing because you came from the same tribe or county. That's sad. And like I said, other people experienced that, and we said the war in Liberia was senseless. But we as Grenadians, we will make sure to keep the legacy of President Doe alive. We will do whatever it is. And you just saw we took a monument or a statue in Grenada, which is celebrated him. That statue is in Grenada,
Let me
Republic
just
of
hold you there
Liberia.
1 minute, Madam President. Let me just hold you 1 minute. You took a statue to Grangida. That is Grangida. And President Doe was not a president for Grangida. He was the president of the Republic of Liberia. Now that you Grenadians are taking it in a brotherly way, because he's from Grangida and we are from Grangida, so we want to do it in a way that the people of Grangida County will remember him. What are you doing that he should be remembered in the entire country, not only in Grangida County? Because he was not only president for Grangida.
We carry the fact that we put the statue in Grange that in fact before the statue project started, the government officials were informed. They were asked to get involved. It was not just because of Grand County or we the Granginas we're gonna, but like the woman of God, our chaplain said, if you don't say I am, who will say I am? Thou art. The fact of the matter here is that everyone knows about President Doe, what he has done, and in fact we try to reach out to government officials to see what best can be done. And we are open to suggestions. When we started the project, we engaged the government officials. We said, oh, this is what we plan to do. And Great Judea County is a county within the Republic of Liberia. And of course, we have it there. Any Grenadian, any Liberian can go there and celebrate though. It is not just for him, but it is the counties and that raised the money, and the place we felt that it is that needed for us to place the statue was at the Triangle in Grangeda County. But of
Yeah.
course, it is for all Liberians.
Okay, so
Yes,
do
let
you
me
have?
just add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Co-host, it's a very, 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 significant question you ask. But if you look at the population of the country and look at Monrovia, Monrovia is overpopulated. In almost every development, 90% goes to Monrovia. We have to learn to start to decentralize these infrastructure and these development and take them other places to open the country up. So taking the statue to Grand Judea County, that almost like the central point coming from the southeastern region, going to Nima and Bomb, and then Kakata, Magibi, and then Morovia. I don't think it's a bad thing. Every Liberian can see it as you pass through to go to those other countries. We have, I
I'm
mean,
not saying
countries.
it's. I'm
We
not
have
saying
to.
it's bad though. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying here, like you just mentioned, that Monrovia is overpopulated. Now that you want the government, I don't know if you have ever petitioned the government asking them to reactivate that portion of the constitution that was created, that was enacted, that President Doe's birthday be celebrated. I don't know if you have ever asked them that they go back and activate that aspect of the constitution that the former president birthday be celebrated. Now that you've done this statue, don't you think it was necessary enough to be placed in Monrovia, since in fact Monrovia is the hub of the Republic of Liberia for every tract, for every county, that everyone in Liberia would know that yes, this is the former president of the Republic of Liberia who died on his soil trying to defend his people, and we demand, or we are asking the government that his birthday be reactivated for celebration. Don't you think that is quite interesting or necessary indeed?
Okay, I will let Jefferson to come in, but let me just do a bridge here really quick for those of you who are listening to us on Blaze Radio 90.7. We want you to get ready. We'll soon open the line, and we want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your honest thoughts. We want you to interact with our guests. What you think about celebrating those birthdays? Since we are celebrating Totman's birthday, we are celebrating JJ Raba's birthday. JJ Raba is a Congo man who came here. We are celebrating his birthday. We're celebrating Totman's birthday. But
in fact, he wasn't a president. I think he wasn't a president. I think he was a community chairman by then, because
and Doe's birthday was enacted into law. It's a statute that is created to celebrate the birthday. It has not been repealed yet. I mean, it's a law that has not been obeyed. So we want to call you. We want you to place your call. Anthony, what are the numbers that they need to call? Let's put them up so they can know. The first one will be, let me see if I can get that. Then we'll put it up, and then we have Brother Jefferson, Coach Jefferson Solo. So I have 0776 376 869, and then which one? The orange number is what?
The orange number, that's the same number. That's the orange number you are calling. The Lone Star number has not been activated yet.
Okay. So we are going to take calls on our orange. Let's put on the screen for those of you who let's scroll down right away first, and then.
So let me hold you there and talk to the very first caller here tonight. Hello, what's your name and where you call from? Oh, okay. The caller is off the line, but you can keep your calls coming. 0776 376 6869. You know, I'm taking my own time so you can copy the number properly. 0776 376869 is the number to call, and you're going to be part of the program. The question is, what do you make of the celebration of the former late Liberian President Samuel Doe? What do you make? How do you? I don't know. So can you just repeat yourself?
All right, 077637
I mean the question.
6869. And I want you to place your call. Tell us what is your own take on the celebration of Doe's birthday? What are the positive things that you remember about Samuel Doe? And we want you to be
We
able
have
to
this
see.
caller. Hello, welcome.
Caller.
What's your name? Are you getting the callers?
He's very low. He's very low.
I mean, our people on the live stream, are you getting the caller?
He's very low.
Okay. Yeah, you are. I think you are better now. Let's hear you. Go ahead. All right, let's hear you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Anyway.
0776376869. 077.
We have another caller. Hello.
Another caller on the line.
What's happening tonight? 0776 37 68 69 is the number to call and be live. This caller, hello. Okay, welcome. What's your name and where have you called from? Okay, welcome, Ezekiel. Let's hear you.
Yes, firstly, I would like to ask for President Doe.
The audio looks a little bit fussy. I don't know if you can boost it a little bit.
The president needs to be celebrated. Well, for the first thing, President Doe went against one country when he was in power. And this country was tortured and they were murdered. So I don't know the reason or the good thing that he has done or in this for the country that is not the need to be celebrated. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see if we can get another caller. I hope you guys are taking down the questions. 0776 37 6869 is the number to call. This caller is here. Hello. Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I recommend the reading them, the what she's saying about the being developmental since we got to it. And what I believe because after long in going there, we have found it, the statute. I don't know what the statute of development. Even if it is the statute of development, but even the going there, as you said, most like the most populated, I think people here should be in the know of President Doe. If you have anything, they tell you for the country that you will relate because almost at that point, we were coming to Mosolado to know about President Doe. And why are you taking the statute to the going there? How many people going there will learn? So isn't it thousands of people, 1,000 people will learn, they will learn about President Doe.
Okay, thank you. This next caller, hello.
I think you need to work on that audio. It should be clearer than this. It should be clearer than this.
Anthony, what's the name of that speaker?
You say you're not getting the caller?
No, I said, what is his name? The caller, the one I just spoke?
Oh, no, he left the line. Go ahead.
And your online guests as well.
Okay.
My name is Joseph Gamma. I come from District Number 6, Moscow County. Let me appreciate the president so much. You know, I was a little boy when I was born. I never knew Samuel Doe, but you know, history taught us more about the positive impact of President Doe in this country. Today, we have a tangible that whenever group of Liberian gather to celebrate, to unite themselves in sports, it means always resonate in our mind. You know, for the Nigerian, let to recognize that despite they want to be a monument, but we really appreciate them if they can upgrade their stage in that county as a remembrance of the former heroes of the county. You know, for some of us who read the history of Doe, we knew the impact. Today, there are former players of the Rooster team to give a testimony to what Doe did for them. He purchased land for them. There are some players, even the land that are the former president, desire or we are, were purchased by them. And the Upper Old Town also in Real were also purchased through Doe administration. We see that a lot of people, especially where they have the Ellington Ministerial Complex, the gigantic building of Ministry of Defense, the proposed Ministry of Defense were also constructed during his regime, and there are a lot of infrastructure development. He was very developmental oriented, and you know, that's all of the practice. For me, there is one thing that he did that I want to really express. That
You have to be brief now because others are on the line that want to participate as well.
Okay, lastly, you know, there is something that he did, more especially when he did a petition of ministers that have been found in corruption, a petition on the right foot. Today we have the PhD where the ex-president made that as a plea where students will come and see that was wrong for him.
Okay. Let me leave you there. Thank you so much.
Anthony, I want you to check what's going on. What's going on with the audio is better than that before.
Are you still getting it now? Because it's very loud it's very loud here.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Maybe that's because
Okay. Go ahead, brother. Let's hear you.
No, it's not clear, Gibson. We're not understanding them.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me say thanks for your address. Let me begin by saying I'm also a part of an institution in Liberia called COSA.
Okay.
That is where
Boost it a little bit.
It's GOTSAC. And so most of the members are also Nigerians. We have our president called in the state, one Eugene Zako. I don't know whether you've heard the name President Eugene Zako. With Gedno, Andres Gedno, Gedno, all those from Nigeria. So, also let me understand that Nigerians are still alive, not with the people. So the Oscar, the World Pharmacy is here, and I'm the official president of the institution. So that we're also keeping Nigeria alive here in Monrovia to be precise around the peace so that they will help us peace.
Thank you.
So, I mean, yes, we can remember the former president not just for sports. I mean, we also knew that he was not a guy who became a person, but he was common person to serve the country. Not just with the activity, I also been told that he contributed with the Mexico here in Canada and also tour. He did the Mexico Microsoft, a couple of things that he did. You know, there's no president that absolutely being very perfect. Everybody will have shortcomings, but I think his greatest part, we also retrospect his involvement with the national team. I mean, we've been told his son is right, that players, but he's useless. So yes, we did his move, and there was much more for that much that we saw him doing.
Okay, all right.
Those things that we did. So I want to appreciate the team in the U.S. like he did, and we also appreciate the movement field. You know, somebody who has contributed to the country and to the country. Thank you so kindly.
You're most welcome. Let's welcome Pascal David. Pascal, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Is this Pascal?
No, this is Robert E. Pascal.
Okay, I'm sorry. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the program tonight. To remember the President Samuel Doe.
Now listen to me. Just listen a little bit. We are asking if do you agree that we celebrate former President Samuel Doe's birthday in Liberia as a national holiday? That's the question we are asking.
That's where I'm coming.
Okay.
With me personally, I would say yes, but it is not possible because of the way the history ended. But if you recount the teacher Samuel Doe, President Samuel Doe, some of us, one like me, or two Samuel Doe, we started going to school. Each year opened the education for the indigenous, the University of Nigeria. There was some bottleneck for people to enroll. But during the Samuel Doe era, in stopping those bottlenecks, the primary schools were free and so forth. And then the barracks, where people used to sleep on the scaffolding, they were forced to go to the barracks, the estate, to go to the police barracks. And the one apartment they have as police headquarters to destroy that and build a national police headquarters to do that. They draw a straw of that. And the Ministry of Health, the central bank, the National Working Bank, umbrella state. And so many people we did. But you have to misled. And the history ended invalid. So to go back to the Constitution and say we should celebrate will be difficult. But personally, when you recount his achievements, what he did, it was so immense that we should cherish his history.
Okay.
Even though it ended invalid, about Samuel Doe should be remembered. The people in the studio that are talking about it, they don't know. Maybe they go there some of the history. So they can narrate all the achievements and what he did positively. But every human being has good or bad part of it.
Okay.
But the good thing President Doe did is so much of that did. He opened the corner people's eyes, he educated them, he made people be brave to contest for presidency, for leadership. He fought corruption on the light post. When he took over, he brought people for corruption.
Okay.
We remember that. So thank you so much.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you all so much. We're going to take some more calls before we can go back to our panelists. 0776 3768 69. 0776 3768 69 is the number to call, and you're going to be live here. The question is, do you agree that we should celebrate former President Samuel Doe's birthday as a national holiday in Liberia? What is your say on that? Let's go back to the line and talk to this caller here. Hello, what's your name? You calling from where? Hello? You call from? Okay, let's hear you. Okay. Okay. Hello? Hello? I think we lost him. But we'll take just one more.
He struck. Yeah, one more. Then we go back to our panelist.
Yeah. So let's take this last caller.
Yeah.
Hello. What's your name? Yeah. Hello. Welcome. You said? Okay. You call from Tinker's Village. Let's hear you.
World War II was when the country was in power, and the CC government was about to country collapsing, and he in the culture doing the part
Okay. Okay, she will answer that. Let's talk to this last caller. Hello. Yeah, welcome. What's your name? Okay, let's hear you. Why? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right.
This is Blaze Radio 90.7. This is why we are Blaze, because we always do things that will blaze, our audience out there. So let me go back to the team to the team and see how best maybe each person can respond to the callers.
To be honest, second to the last caller raised an interesting point. If we are celebrating Samuel Doe's birthday, what about the Nimbayans that were killed? But one of the things I always tell people, right now, Nimbayans are celebrating their own.
Mm-hmm.
They are celebrating their own, and that's not a problem at all. I support the fact that they support their own. Prince Johnson has been elected 3 times. Okay? There are so many Nimbayans who are being celebrated today, and there's nothing wrong with Grandidians celebrating their own. But the point we're talking about here is that a law was passed. That law has not been repealed. If we all must be able to live by the rule of law, then why don't they repeal the law? Let them go ahead and repeal the law and say the law that was passed in 1987, that was passed from the House and was concurred by the Senate and signed into law by the President, that Samuel Doe's birthday should be used as a developmental instrument from one county to another. They went to 3 counties, and the 4th county was going to be Grand Jeddah County. And then he died. And this law is lying in the books. If there's no need for Liberians to celebrate Doe's birthday anymore, is it prudent for them to go and repeal that law so that we will not be talking about it? Let me go to our panelist, Madam Poa.
Yeah, and that's a very good point you just made. We would definitely try to reach out. Our members will have meeting, we'll talk about this, and we'll try to see what best we can do to reach out. I know Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, Grand Jeddah Association, met with him and his team when he was then Vice Presidential candidate. We talked to him. He seems to be a very nice gentleman. So we will be able to express and find out exactly what's going on with this, so we can be able to get back to you all to see what's going on. Because if there's a law, and we should be able to follow that until it can be dismissed. But if it's still there, we should be able to follow the prescription giving and see. So we're definitely going to find out. We can just come right now as the leaders of Grand Jeddah Association to definitely give you an answer. But all we can say, we will try to have a meeting and see what we can do to be able to reach out to the government if there's a need be.
Okay, Pastor Jefferson Solo, you have something to say?
Yes, am I audible enough?
Audible enough.
Awesome. Yes, Mr. Jerry, thank you again for the opportunity to come on. I think growing up in Liberia as a child and also in foreign countries as a refugee, there is this saying in the Liberian community, normal days. To satisfy the argument and say, okay, Doe was not a good president for the nation, let's say we have had presidents after Doe. Why is it still that the normal days we are looking for are not back? So something is wrong here. If those leaders are really good, their days should even be, celebrated as the greatest days before or during the days of Doe regime. And also here, I don't think this is a debate to have as of whether we should must celebrate his birthday. Like you said, Mr. Jeru, This has been passed in law, and it's not a debate for us to talk about. The question should be, are we a law abiding nation? Why are we not obeying our law? These are things we should be talking about. Why is the nation not celebrating his birthday after they pass it into law? And if you also want to talk about the agenda of the propagandists, of course, that turn heads against or household against each other, the only county in Liberia where people can freely walk and speak their dialect is in Grand Jida. Grandidians at this point, I can say generation cannot even speak the Crown dialect, all because they fear for their lives. So many of them today, they can't speak the Crown dialect. While it is also true that a sitting president was murdered on camera, and up to now his children, his relatives, they are still watching these kind of graphic images on the internet. And the same duos are celebrated in the nation. But yet and still, due to hypocrisy, people are saying, well, I'm a hypocrite. I agree. Do not celebrate Doe, but it's okay to celebrate such and such. So to conclude, if we want to heal and unite as a people, then focus on a way forward. I think let the past be behind us and let us find a way to unite ourselves and come back and say whatever happened in the past cannot corrupt the future generation. And let us now bring back days we can reference as normal days in our nation. But up to now, I am still looking up to the Liberian public to say we now have normal days other than the days of Doe.
And one of the callers made mention of something. They said, why is it that the Grand Chile Association in the Americas did not come up with this suggestion or with this issue of the celebration of the birthday of former President Doe during the administration of former President George Weah, knowing the fact that one way or the other, the former president was being brought up and groomed by former President Samuel Doe. Why didn't you come up with this during his administration? It is now that you have come up with it. And in fact, if this government did not agree with you or did not yield to what you are yearning for, I don't know your next thing.
When you and basically, like in Great Genius, we will bring that like I said, we will try to see what best we can do to reach out to the government. And if the government decides to say, look, you know what, it's going to be business as usual, we're going to be able to break the law, we really don't care about President Doe's birthday, it is up to this government to find a reason to see what best can be done to make sure, look, previous leader did it before, we're going to make sure to follow the rules and put things in place so we can be remembered as people who are law abiding and citizens, and the leadership under President Walker would be like recognized as the leadership that actually recognized the birthday of President Doe.
So my next question to the entire panelists is,
You can hear me?
yeah, you are better. You are better.
Do you hear me?
We did hear you. We hear you.
My next question to the panelists is this: are you doing this only as Nigerian, or are you involving other Liberians into it? That is from Nema County, from Lofa, from Maryland, from Riwaji. Are you involving other people into this?
I'm sorry, you can hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
we hear you.
Okay,
yes.
I had an interruption.
So are you guys involving other people from other counties in Liberia, or this initiative is only being carried out by folks only from Grand Chile?
I'm sorry, my line. I had an interruption.
The question is whether the Grand Chile Association and all Grand Chileans, whatever they are doing now to recognize and commemorate his birthday, is it just Grand Chile that we are doing it, or are you working with Nimbayans? Are you working with other people to see to it that this happens?
We did not, and previous leaders before us did not think about reaching out to other county organizations to do that. But since we identified this problem, we put an intervention in place to see what best can be done.
Brother, so you wanted to say something?
Yes, Mr. Jerry. Again, the president said it all, but the idea of celebrating a leader, I don't think is something for Grandidians to impose on the general public. Again, I think Grandidia County is abiding by the law by celebrating the president because it's in the law that we should celebrate his birthday. So we are just abiding by the law of the republic. Now it is up
No,
to
so
our
no, so I think I will have to hold that because at that point I won't agree with you because, like I mentioned earlier, I said former President Samuel Doe was not the president of Grand Gila County. He was the president from Grand Gila County and the president of the Republic of Liberia. So if you want for his birthday celebration to be a national holiday in this country, don't you think it is necessary enough to have the involvement of other counties, citizens as well to join you into this fight?
And again, that's the point I'm coming up to, Mr. Phillips. The idea of involving other citizens from other counties, it is, I would say it is a discretionary decision for these counties, citizens to make. And the reason is
you could invite Lofa County because the vice president doing his administration was from Lofa County. I stand to be corrected.
well, you could be right. And again, we are doing what we are supposed to do as the citizens of the county, and we were also glad that they passed this into law to celebrate his birthday. And if we are doing it, it is now up to the other counties to follow suit. The president said it, her administration at this point is anticipating reaching out to the various organizations in the diaspora and also in Liberia to make sure that this becomes, a national celebration. And let us remember, we must abide by the law of our nation. And Doe was the president of our nation, not for Grand Judah, like you continue to overemphasize on.
You are hearing the voice of Pastor Jefferson Solo, the chief of staff of the office
And Mr. Gerald,
of Madam Edith Poor, national president of Grand Judah Association. Yeah, go ahead.
I know there was a question asked if you won the birthday to be celebrated. It's not the matter of we won. It's the matter of law being, a prescription is already given to the nation to say, look, this man's birthday needs to be celebrated. It's not something that, we have the option to do or not do. The government of Liberia should find a reason to be able to celebrate this birthday until that order is canceled. Okay? So if it's not, then why can't we just continue to say it's not about Grandidians trying to reach out? Liberians need to reach out. There's something missing. There's the law, that is not being followed. And regardless of whatever the reason is, let us be able to unite as citizens. But like we said, if people are not doing it, we're going to reach out to everyone. And we're going to also reach out to the government of Liberia to see why this is not being done. And that's a very good point today we are discussing, and we'll try to see what we can do.
Okay, so another thing before I call him the original host, the host number one.
Yeah, you won't be the host now, so I'll just leave you.
No, I can't be the host. So another thing again is this: in Liberia, according to our constitution, people can solicit signatures from people, from citizens, to sometimes impeach a lawmaker or even the president of the country,
or make a petition,
or make a petition as well. Are you guys working in that line, in that direction, to see how best you guys can get signatures from, if not all of the counties in Liberia, but most of the counties, to see how best this issue about the celebration of former President Samuel Doe's birthday is taken seriously?
Before the president comes in, are you asking us to petition the government to enforce the law that they accepted and written?
I'm not asking you to petition the government, but if you think it is necessary, sometimes you have to put the government feet to the ground to do certain things. So if you think it is necessary, Why not?
And we are
Okay.
not going to. We must give this platform the credit today
Mhm.
because we did not. You know, sometimes something wrong is happening. You really did not pay attention to that. We
Right.
were mainly focused on as Grenadians celebrating those birthday, doing whatever we need to do to honor the president of our son. Now that it has been brought to our attention, this is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. And we said we're going to take it to the government. We may not even need to even get people to. We may not need signatures. We may not need any kind of a petition or whatever. The government may say, "Oh, okay, maybe it's just a bad oversight too." So who knows? When we reach out to them, let's hear what they got to say before we can take the next step.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Before we take your final comments, we want to just say uh, we having conversation with the officials of the Graduate Association in Americas. Madam Idepoa is the national president. Madam Beatrice Swen, is the national chaplain, and Pastor Jefferson Solo is the chief of staff to the president. And we invited him here today because today is Samuel Doe's birthday, and the Graduate Association scheduled their convention in proximity with the birthday of Graduate Association. Before I let you guys go, uh, uh, I want you to emphasize, how does Graduate Association immortalize this birthday with convention in mind? What could be the way to approach it? Is it by collecting money, or maybe having some kind of national program, or are we just having the convention on the graduate, I mean on the birthday or close to the birthday, or are there other plans that you guys want to pursue?
When it comes to the celebration of those birthday, to to set a whole convention to say that the convention must be held around his birthday, that's a big thing too. In other words, we are celebrating President Stowe's birthday. And we took a whole major event of Grand Judah Association and said, look, it must happen on this day around President Doe's birthday. So that's a big deal. In addition to that, we will pretty much find like other things to do in honor of President Doe. We just, like we said, we just erected a whole statue in Granjita. So the Granjitans, we are doing what it takes to be able to keep the memories of President Doe alive, and we hope that other non-Granjitans can be able to join us too to be able to celebrate this man, this great leader of our time, and we can see what best to do as a team together to be able to honor Doe and keep his legacy alive.
All right.
You
Thank you
know.
very much. I think we'll do this again
But
on a
let me come
different.
let me come in for those who said why should we honor Doe?
Mhm.
When I remember one of the speaker, I don't know if he is that Ezekiel. He said, why should we honor Doe when in fact he went after a particular county? Okay, if we're gonna do that, then there will be no leader from Liberia. Okay? If we're gonna say don't recognize this person because they did XYZ, then I don't know how we're gonna get people, for example, there are other people who participated in the war, and of course, they were given the opportunity to lead. So the Liberians are trying to move forward. We are trying to put the past behind us and carry on development. I know there are a lot of things that happen to individuals from who are not from Grenada, but it like we always said, the war is just a senseless war. Some Grenadians went after each other, Nemadians against Nemadians, people. It was just senseless. But at this point in time, the Grenadians, we are focused on what needs to be done as far as development. So when we talk about Grand Chile Association, the prescription given to us is to be able to cater to the needs of Grand Chileans. Okay, and sometimes if there's a need, we'll be able to reach out like we did. We were trying to reach out to the fire victims in Torota, Bond County. So for those who are thinking about us, and why is it that those should be celebrated, we as Grenadian, we found him to be someone who is very dear to us. And the war that went on, it affected every one of us, like Grenadians, Brazilians, Nemadians, everyone. At this point in time, Grand Children Association it does not cater to just Crown Tribe. It is all about different tribes within the county. So when we talk about our development, everybody from that county, like you had Nemadians live there, other tribes live there, they're all going to benefit from whatever we take to in Grand Children County. So we are not looking at a no travel line. We are pretty much trying to make sure that our county is developed, and we encourage other organizations from other counties to be able to do the same thing to develop that county so Liberia as a whole can be developed. Thank you.
Yeah, so quickly before you come in, so let me just inform
your question ain't finished yet.
No, not question. Just a recommendation anyway, or suggestion. Madam President, sometimes diplomacy takes time to get things done. Sometimes, most cases, diplomacy takes time to get things done. So you need radical approach. You need some tough people on your team. I know tough people are there, but like the pastor, he will be thinking about the gospel and you want to take it easy. You have your chaplain and other people. So you need some radical people, strong radical people that will push you hard. And the pastor and other people can be there in their closet praying to get you, pray for you. That
like the pastor then would tell Pastor Solomon to go pray while we do the radical thing, right?
Yeah. So sometimes the radical approach is necessary anyway, Madam President. This is just a suggestion. Anyway, I mean, no harm.
You might be surprised that Pastor Solo himself is more than a radical. He can be radical and praying to God at the same time. Say, God, please wait a minute. Let me do this quickly. And when I'm done, I will come back to my status quo. But hey, look, I'll take your final comments here. But before
I think he said he has suggestion. And we didn't get.
Yeah, that's why he's trying to say you take the bull by the horn.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. I'm a loafer man. I'm a loafer man here. He got a grandchildren wife. Very beautiful. I haven't seen her in person, but
I swear the man is talking on behalf of us.
Yes. Man, interesting too. He's a Christian man. That's interesting, right?
Hello.
Yeah, so let's go back to.
Let me just close.
We'll give you 1 minute.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, my environment cannot permit me to talk longer.
Yeah, go ahead.
But, but let me just say thank you for having us today on your show, you and your co-host. We appreciate you, and also those that are listening to us. Thank you as well. Liberians and the war in general. For us to have total peace, we have to let go of the past and focus on the present and focus on the positive of the past. So I want to encourage all of us, let the right thing be done in our country. Liberia is for all of us. It's not for one group of people. It's for all Liberians. And if Liberians want to be fair, let them do the right thing. As they are pointing fingers, they should also think about the good things that were done, that were achieved in our country by Samuel Doe, and he deserved recognition. Let us give it to him, and let all of us be happy. Liberia belongs to all of us. Thank you. God bless you, and I will talk to you again.
Thank you very much, Madam Swen. I will check my archive.
I'll do the closing prayer.
I had a statue long time. I kept it from one computer to another. I hope I still have it in one of my few portable drives. And when I do, I will definitely publish it. But I do have the statue that was passed in 1987 that made Doe birthday a development status oriented celebration. That goes from one county to another, from one county, and raise money for the county. That was what it was intended for. But I want to go to Jefferson Solo. You want to say something before the president close it up?
Yes, Mr. Jerry, again, thank you to you and your co-host, Mr. Phillips, for having us on your platform tonight. In my closing statement, I want to say this. You may notice a deficiency from a plant, from the leaves. That doesn't mean you should treat the leaves, because treating the leaves, you are ignoring the problem. You must treat the root. For example, right now our president signed us economic. That's another topic for the day. But are they going to fully implement this? Why? Why am I saying this? If you just want to bring Liberians who are maybe the doers of the acts and forget the elites who are the root cause of that problem, the problem is still unresolved. So if we want to hold Doe feet to the fire and say, do not celebrate him as a nation that is trying to heal and unite and come together and focus on development, we are still not solving the problem because it's possible there were, strong foundations. We talked about the war in Liberia. We do not have any factory in Liberia that manufacture guns, but they are from other places. Will you bring all these sources to book? So let us really give justice and serve those who serve our nation by remembering them, by celebrating the late President Doe's birthday. As long as we are still giving those doers also that kill him on camera the opportunity to still serve the nation, and they are freely moving around as citizens, enjoying the wealth of the nation. So, as a citizen of the nation, I am speaking and calling on my fellow citizens. Let us focus on unity and move forward. It is true that we cannot undo the past, but we can focus on building a better future. Thank you.
Madam President.
Thank you, and thanks to your co-host. Liberians, I know it's hard when you hear about us talking about we Grenadians talking about celebrating Doe. Some of you people are happy about it, and some people, when I listen to the callers, most of them were happy that we're doing this, and they talk about honoring his birthday, and some people felt like it is not necessary. For those who don't think so, let me give you the reason why it must be done. All right, Doe was the first indigenous president of our nation. And not only he came to power without knowing anything, he actually did well by going to school, by educating himself, and tried to give back to his country. When we talk about changing the lives of other people, a lot of things happen. The Bombagita Highway, Gibson, we didn't even talk about that. Okay, that's something on the president's door.
They,
All
even
right,
the even the master program at the University of Liberia, the
that's President Doe.
international. Yes, yeah. Hmm.
Putting when we're talking about sports, taking it to next to the higher level, like driving players, going to their homes, picking them up, giving that zeal. We are here in America. Sports is something that actually bring about development change, and they pay people a lot of money here, and it can easily transform in children's lives. They pay them so much money, and Doe is the president that actually brought sports, to light. Like he actually went out here to be able to transform people's lives. They travel out of the country. He sponsored people and the development. Like he was trying to build. Look at the kind of building the Ministry of Defense that was not done under his watch before he passed. That beautiful building, I think they say was destroyed later on. So there are a lot of good things he did. All right, and we are not going to dismiss the fact that other people were affected during the war or before the war, but we need to be able to work together as a team if we want to see our country develop. We need to put all these things aside now and be able to work together. Joe's birthday was something that was actually that is in this own record for us to be able to celebrate, though. So it needs to be done. If it is not done, we all as Liberians should be able to ask the question why it shouldn't
Hello,
be
there.
done instead of us
Hello,
saying,
there.
"Oh no, this man went
Hey,
against
I'm on the
particular
radio. I'll tell you
county,"
when I'm finished. I almost finished.
Go ahead.
because a lot of other people were haunted. And we are not going to say it as Grenadian. Oh no, people were not affected, just only Grenadians. Grenadians, the same thing that happened to some of us happened to other people. But the best thing we are, doing right now is to be able to develop our county. And we ask, Liberians for us to work together. President Doe, if you are not really happy about us celebrating Doe, it's something that you have to readjust. Because for Grenadians, this man is our hero. He put his life on the line. He refused to leave the country. He said because of his people, he was not going to leave. When I say people, I'm talking about Liberians. It's not just Grenadians, because the barracks did not just host Grenadians, but he said he refused. So if other people don't find reason to understand that, to be able to celebrate him, we as Grenadians, we're going to continue, and we're going to encourage other people to work along with us so we can be able to celebrate him. And thanks, Mr. Jeru, for your show, for shining light on that 1987, law that was passed, and we'll see what we can do. We spoke to the vice presidential candidate, but now vice president, we have a good working relationship. He said we have any issue, we should reach out to him, and we will place a call to him and the president. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here.
Anthony, there's a special word she said. If you think that those birthdays should not be celebrated, you should look at your position again. Thank you very much, Madam Poad, and Brother Solo. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you coming here. We will do one more of this another time, but it will be for GGAA and all of the projects that you guys are involved with. We want to inform our people now that we have a radio station on the ground that at least people are listening to, and we will also try as much as possible to get a connection with Zweru and make sure.
Sir, yes. Let me just do the business transaction right on this radio. We want the Grand GGAA Association to sponsor at least 1 hour program on this radio. They can be presented from there in America, and you just pay our bills. That's all. Anyhow you want to present it.
That's a good way to solicit business.
I love this brother. I love my producer. Yeah. I love this brother.
But you ain't putting our Doe song, you know the one I say you right.
Wait.
Okay, I'm waiting for you. I'm ready.
I got them.
The minister will come on. But let's discuss business first. The minister will come on, but let's discuss business first. So just 1 hour. I will text the amount that's supposed to be paid for on this radio for 1 hour to Mr. Jeru. Then he will share it with you guys. You can go and discuss it in your meeting. Bam, the space and the time is there for you.
Okay, sure. Okay. Mr. Jeru will give all that information, but let's do the dance now. Put the music on small.
Wait, I try to Anthony, find something quickly and put it. Let me find their song.
So they have
a special song. I got it right here. Wait, I got it right here. Let me put that special song on.
For Sammy.
Yeah, they got song here. I got 2 of them. I think 3 of them here.
The one by Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Okay. This one is by, let me see the one by Ezekiel. Let me see, this one is by Ezekiel right here. Let me see, let me try this one.
And then maybe it may help other people to know why we the Grenadians to celebrate this man.
Yeah, let me try this one first. If it's not Ezekiel, then I will.
No, it's not.
That's not Ezekiel. That's Alan Brown.
That's Alan Brown.
The Speaker Junior, the marvelous Speaker.
Okay, that's there.
Get the song.
That's there.
Go to President.
Listen to that.
You remember.
Then you will know why we are celebrating Sammy. President Doe.
President Samuel Doe.
Yes, sir?
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to your Lord.
I will tell you. Daddy, I will say yo.
Pastor Solo, is it not a reaching? You get what I'm saying, Carl? Well, two of you.
Thank you very much. I think we it will mind the people here that will go on and on. And Anthony will be sending me a bill because every time I go over my meetings.
I know Anthony will pass out.
Every time I go over my meeting, he charged me for going over my meeting. That's the thing about him. So
but Anthony need to explain. Anthony needs to talk about Joe, why people should actually celebrate this great man, this leader.
So we've given you 2 hours to talk about him. So the next minute I will add, you will have to pay something. We'll give you your
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Is it digital calculation or manually? We want to make sure it's accurate.
Thank you very much,
thanks
Madam
so much.
And thank you, Brother Solo. Thank you, Madam President. Well, thank you for coming here, and we hope to have you again as our guest. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay,
bye. We really want you guys to think about the 1 hour radio program. That is very important for your institution.
Sure. We can do that, and thank you so much.
We'll listen with you. We'll listen with you.
So we'll be reaching out to you guys too, for us to be able to follow up while this man birthday is not being celebrated in Liberia.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, and bye bye for you now. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Okay. All right. Those were the officials of Grand GGAA Association in America. You know, Anthony, the topic is very good. You know, in Liberia, I hope I can find that statute. I carried that statute for a long time, changing from one computer to another hard drive to another. I hope when I look at my 5 portable hard drive, I'll be able to see it, because imagine 1 terabyte, but 5 of them to locate document. But this is something that, you know, I believe that when there are certain laws that are not executable, they should just repeal them. Just repeal it so it cannot be on the books. I mean, there are some laws that are just on the board that are not executable, that people believe that are not supposed to be executed or obeyed. The lawmakers get together, find that law, repeal the law, and then we move forward. But you cannot have a law on the books and you cannot do it. And then you talk about the rule of law, which to me is not. And you brought a very great point where you asked a question about what can it do differently? I mean, collaborating with other people to get this done. And that is a very, very beautiful point, because if you look at today, collaboration, even Nimbayans, you can even collaborate with Nimbayans. You can collaborate with Lofa. You can collaborate with anybody and say, look, this is what we do. You engage the lawmakers, write them, engage them, and see how they proceed. Even if their birthday will not be celebrated, but there's be some kind of recognition at some point, and you know, it'll be to your credit. But hey, thank you, my man. First of all, let me say thank you for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You guys were holding on. I was too busy. I think my account is becoming to be released. I see one person. Before that, I don't even see nobody. My wife was listening to it. She didn't even hear audio. She called me and said, "Oh, I'm hearing no audio on your page." So I don't know what Facebook did with me today. But the 2 songs I played, I think they muted my video, and I was able to record the video on another platform here, so we'll be able to have that video moving on. Thank you, Anthony, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. We hope that you put forth our business concern to the association.
Oh
At
yeah,
least
I
that.
will do that. I will do that. And you talk about your going home business just now. It just kind of touched me a little bit. We'll talk about that later on and see how we can take care of that problem. Because I don't think our program director should be jumping from one motorbike to another motorbike to another. You know, you just do when you, after the program, you just jump on your own band and then you move on. Yeah. When you come back in the morning, you know, it's reported, it's taken care of. We got some motorbikes on the ground. We'll see how best we can take care of that kind of problem. But thank you very much, and I'll talk to you again.
Thank you so much, folks. That's it. It's right here on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM, and you can join the station tomorrow for another presentation of the program here on this dial. Well, my name is Anthony Phillips. I'll talk to you again when I talk to you. That will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when I shall be here on this radio with the presentation of Blaze News Point. Have a pleasant good night, and don't you forget to keep listening to Blaze Radio.